Hi, I'm Christy Simpson with ChristySimpson.net. Today I'm going to teach you the very basics about filet crochet. It uses a lace pattern but with a design. So I'm going to teach you how to do the basics and even how to create your own graph. So you will need a lightweight number 3 yarn and a 4mm crochet hook to get started. About filet is that it is made with the open blocks, and then you also have closed blocks within. Now you may be wondering, how do I figure out how to do this and how do I work it from a graph? Well, I'm going to show you basically how you figure out your counts and even how to draw your own if you're interested in making one yourself. So then we will take that information and we will use one that I already have done here, and then we will make one. So you're going to learn about it, learn how to make your own, and then we're going to make one together. So let's say you have a box here, and I already have it drawn out, and it's a 4x4. But what you're going to look at is the amount of squares on the bottom. There are 4. And each square will count as 3 stitches. So then you have 12. Okay, so you're going to take 12. Now if the box above it is empty, you will add 5. If it is filled in, like one of these, you will add 3. But in this case, we're going to add 5. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. So that's 17 chains you will need to start this base of 4 here. If you have 5, it will be 5 times 3 because each box is 3. So that'll be 15. And then since this box right here is empty, you will add 5 chains, so that will be 20. Then let's just keep going so you'll kind of get the concept here. You have 6 on the bottom, so that's 6 times 3 equals 18. Since this one's empty, it will be 5. Then you will have a starting chain of 23. This one is 7. 7 times 3 is 21. Add in your 5 because this one here is empty. You have 26 chains. Same thing here, there's 8. 8 times 3 is 24 plus 5 equals 29. So if you wanted to add a border, you would take your basic block here and you would just add an extra one around. So if you had it, you would just add it around and you would color it in. So then you count your blocks here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 3 is 15. And since this one is solid, you would add 3. And I'll tell you why here in just a minute. I'm just trying to let you know how to start it off. Now, let's just go over. We're going to do this one here. I've already sketched it out, and I also have it here. So I'm going to move this piece of paper. Remember, 1 block equals 3 stitches. I have 7 blocks here, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then that equals 21. Since this one is blank, we're going to add 5, so 26 chains. That sounds easy. If your block is empty, this is going to mean that it's going to be a double crochet plus 2 chains. It's really easy. I know it sounds like a lot of information, but once we get our hands on the hook and needle, the hook and yarn, it will make a lot of sense. If the block is filled in and solid, then that is going to be 3 double crochet. So to help you see that better, I have gone ahead and sketched it out here for you. We have done the 21 chains plus the 5. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 chains is your first double crochet and your chain 2. So like I said, if your block is empty, it's a double crochet and chain 2. That will give you this open block here. Your double crochet and chain 2 is right here. And then whenever you have a 3 double crochet, it makes it solid. So before we begin this, I want to show you how you can draw your own and kind of sketch it out and then determine it before we actually make one. Okay, on this first page that I had here, I did a simple K. What I did was I drew it out and then I filled in my blocks and then I put a box around it. So then if I wanted to add a border so that it wouldn't just be empty on the edges. You would just take and you would draw it around it here and you would fill it in, okay? And then all of these would be solid as you work back and forth. You can draw a heart, you can draw anything. So say you want to make your own design and you want to do, say, an arrow. You just take and you fill in all the blocks that you want. It's really, really, really simple. And I'm doing this kind of fast, so it's not really neat. Say you need to go out to the edge here. If you want a really wide open area after, like an extra area on the side that has more open spaces, you could make this wider. And then if you want a border, you just add one. And you can make this as wide as you want, but this is just the basic, very, very basic. You can draw your design first and then put the rest around it. So that's just the basic concept. Or you can start with a square or rectangle. It doesn't have to be square, but then you just count this bottom row and you use that formula, x times 3 plus either 5 or 3. It's really easy. So let's go back and let's look at what we have as a demonstration here. We have the 21 chains, so let's do that together. And one note I might add is I'm using a lightweight. A lot of people use thread or a cotton thread that's really thin. That way it doesn't get flimsy. You'll see a lot of these used in frames or even on tables. You can make these with baby blankets, just a way to add a little bit of personality and customization. And then the cotton and the thread will help hold its shape. Okay, so let's chain 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Since my first block is empty, I'm going to add my 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to double crochet in the 7th chain from the hook. And I'll explain why here in just a minute. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yarn over and insert and do your double crochet. This will give you 2 at the top, 3 on the side, 2 on the bottom, which makes your block, your very, very first block here. So with this showing here, you have an empty block. You will chain 2, skip 2, and double crochet. And that gives us that next open block. And here, I will also show you, I'll put this here so you can kind of see. We had our chain 5 and double crochet, 2 chains and double crochet. So the next block is empty, so we will do 2 chains and double crochet. So 1, 2, and then double crochet. The next block is solid. So what we're going to do is double crochet 3, 1, 2, 3. This one has already been taken, so double crochet 3. 1, 2, 3. So now we have that solid center block. Now the rest is really easy. They're open, so we're going to chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Don't forget to skip those stitches too, but that's just basically the way we think about it. And then chain 2, skip 2, double crochet. Uh-oh. I've got the chain 2 there, skip 2, double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet. So that is our first row here, and it looks just like the drawing. Now you can take and use graph paper and sketch it all out here, and it will look just the same. So let's start the row 2 here, and since it is a blank block, we're going to chain 5. If it were solid, we would chain 3. Now we chain 5 again because that's our first double crochet in our chain 2. If it was solid, the first chain 3 is your first double crochet, and then you would have 2 more double crochet. Okay, so chain 5, and we'll work through this row together, and then I think you'll be able to get the hang of it and do the rest on your own. Okay, so then you're going to skip these 2 because this is your first stitch here. Skip the 2 chains and double crochet in the double crochet. Okay, our chart says we'll have another blank one. So chain 2 and double crochet. So double crochet on the top of the double crochet. Okay, we have our first 2 blocks. The third one is solid, so we'll do 3 double crochet. And I work into the chains instead of under the chain so that it'll be a little more structured. Okay. And then we have the center one here is empty, so chain 2 and double crochet. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th one is solid. So that means 3 double crochet. And then the rest are open. So chain 2 and skip 2 and double crochet. So 1, 2. Okay, all you have to do is count the bottom 2 here, then count 1, 2, 3, and that's where you're going to work into, because the top of the third one is your double crochet. So now, as you can see, it is lining up exactly like our graph, and that's all you have to do. So continue working from right to left, left to right, right to left, left to right, and back and forth as you go to complete your graph. And when you do, just take and weave in your ends, and you will find that you have the same design as your graph. Now that you know how to create your own graph, read a graph, and even sketch up your own from your graph, you can complete your own filet crochet design. Now I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you'll join me back here for more free crochet patterns.